Hello and welcome back to It's RJ TV. Today I'm trying to walk you through Tour 6 with lower level clubs, something that someone who's entering Tour 6 should have. Maybe your clubs will actually be a little bit better because I'm progressing through very quickly with this account. First of all, I want to say you should be saving your gems, and the reason for that is simply because you're going to want to use Marlin balls at the very minimum, and Quasar and Navigators potentially. Probably more Quasars than Navigators. So going forward, you're going to want to have your big dog in, and let's go. I'm sorry, not your big dog, your extra mile. Although a big dog is not a bad club here, it's kind of rough to win a couple of the shootouts. And right off the bat, we'll be able to see here we got a really long fairway. So this is one of those areas where something like especially with the headwind, something like a quarterback just is not going to cut it. Or a rocket won't work. Looks like he's actually using a katana. That's a little too much just to win 60K. Although to cut this wind down a little bit, and also for our second shot, I am going to throw a Marlin in because the side spin is also going to be nice, even though it's just a little bit of it. The fairway up near the green narrows quite a bit. He's going to have a pretty big advantage on me up there as far as that goes. So let's see. Yes, we're going to just use a Marlin. Marlins are the cheapest balls. I like going full top spin, full spin to the right. And then we're going to need to overpower this because we need to get up in those shadows, the shadow area near the top, if we're going to have any type of opportunity to get on in two. And we hit it great to the right, so that makes me a little happy that I used the right spin. And we're barely going to stay on. That is pure luck right there. That could have been a disaster. So remember, the extra mile is not a very accurate club, so be very careful with those shots. Now our opponent here has the sniper. We have not yet unlocked the sniper. The sniper is a perfect ball for here with its 100 accuracy and its 4.0 ball guide, which I believe it has at level 5. So let's see if we can both get on the green in two. I'm using the Guardian, which is my only club besides the big dog that has top spin, and the lack of ball guide and accuracy of the big dog just isn't that great. Now, we definitely don't ever want to end up on the rough on the right hand side. He's lucky his ball stuck there, because if he would have went just a little further up, he would have rolled all the way down into the sand. Now use your ball guide here. This is where I say, I'm going to use the one top spin, but more importantly, I'm going to use that right spin, because you see how it kind of bottlenecks? Right here is about where I want to land. So we're going to make a wind adjustment. And I'm going to put just a little bit of curl on this to the right. And hitting it perfect, I'm fairly certain that if we're not on the fairway, we're going to be very close to it. And there we are. Not the green, the putting green, I'm sorry. So now we have a very easy putt as to where our opponent is going to be dealing with, having to chip this in from the rough, which is a lot tougher. However, this club does have 100 accuracy, so if he can hit it perfect and he's got it lined up for the wind, we could be going to a shootout. And he's just a little bit short. So see, he used a very expensive ball. Unless you're spending money. If you're spending money buying gems, I would not recommend using those types of balls on these tours. As you see, a very inexpensive Marlin just beat a katana. All it takes is one mistake. So this is one course down. We'll probably play at least 3 more, I would assume. But I want to show you guys something really quick on the balls. Now I have bought a club here and there. I could have just a few more gems. Ooh, look at that. We unlocked the Pro Series. So, this is what I want to show you guys real quick. Balls. Okay, if we want to buy balls, the gentleman that just we played against, it's 180 for a 9-pack of the balls that he used. 180. I have 496. Once again, I have not spent a dime on this account, so I can't afford it. But check out the Marlins. Only 25 for 9 balls. That's a heck of a, that's like 8 times cheaper almost. So, and then on top of that, I also recommend the Quasar, which is more than double the price of the Marlin, but still way under the Katana. These are the balls that'll get you through Tour 6 with ease. So, let's go back in, and hopefully we can get a shootout this time, and show you guys how to play some of these shootouts. Now, I also recommend that you play with at least 10 times how much it costs to play. So, for example, this cost, what is it, 30K per player to get in. So you should have 300,000 gold coins. I don't currently have 300,000 gold coins, but I'm an expert player with an account that has over 3,000 trophies. So I have experience, and the whole reason for this account is to share this video with you guys. So here we see this person using a Quasar, which is a very smart way to go about it. I think I'm going to stick with a Marlin ball.
Great shot.
We'll both have the same wind resistance, but he has 2 side spin, I have 1. And he just barely sneaks by the bunker there. So let's see if we can pull out the same type of stop. It's really difficult. Oops, not that one. It's really difficult here when we have a headwind. So I know that there's approximately 3 miles per hour per ring here. So I'm going to want to go about 2 rings, which means this orange ring here. Now I'm going to pull it up just to make sure it's even, but all that's telling me to do is overpower it a little. Now I don't want to go crazy. I don't need to get really high up. And that great shot most likely is going to hurt us. We can hope that the wind pushes us over, and it just barely does. Got to be very careful with the extra mile because of that horrible accuracy. But we came out in a good spot. Sure, he's a little bit closer than we are, but we're both going to be using a short iron in all likelihood. Not a very easy shot to sink as it's uphill. So your adjustments, you need to do a little bit less adjustments than you normally would. And you need to be very careful. I would definitely recommend backspin here, because if you roll just a little too far, you're going to go off a cliff. He seems to be playing it nice and conservative. That's the way you should play. And then if you watch YouTube videos from your favorite YouTubers, you will have a leg up on your opponents, even if they're using the Kingmaker ball, simply just because you know you've seen this hole played before, and you know how people who've been through it many times have played it before. I really love the thorn here. Now look, with the side spin, I can actually just turn full right spin on, and that lets me move away from the rough there just a bit. So I'm going to aim it right about here, just a little past the hole, because the wind's going to blow me back just a bit. And I'm hopeful that this will actually go in the hole. And hitting it great doesn't help. It won't go in the hole that way. However, look, I have plenty of room between me and the cliff. So we'll both have an easy putt, and then we'll both be going to a shootout. So Tour 6 really represents a big jump in your skill level. I believe Tour 5 does as well. Tour 5, I believe, is a real tough course where you where you start to, get some of those courses that you got to have better precision on. And then Tour 6 kind of gives you a little bit easier courses, in my opinion, but they crank the wind way up. All right. This is a newer hole, so I'm not very familiar with the contour of it. However, one thing that is a great friend of mine is the backspin. We got all this control for the backspin. I'm basically putting my ball guide, I want it to be a little before the hole, but as you can see, we don't have much room. We could find a little area there. Right here feels about perfect. So if I can hit this shot perfect, I do not want to miss on the right-hand side. We do hit it perfect. I think we're going to be very close to the hole. I love using all the backspin. A little too much. As long as we're within 3 yards, we should be okay. That should be your goal. I'm a little outside 3 yards, so our opponent definitely has an opportunity to take this one from us. If you don't have a Guardian, a Viper is another great club to use. I just love the control of the Guardian, and you should not have a sniper yet if you're playing on Tour 6. If you do, all the more power to you, although a higher level sniper will be better because you are going to need topspin, backspin, probably more backspin than topspin, but it also comes up short on a lot of the courses. And it's going to be close. I think we beat him by 4/10, about 4/10 of a yard. So we'll see if he wants to play again. That was a really good matchup. All right, hopefully we can get another excellent player. Let's go ahead and open up this pin chest real quick. Now, one secret you might not know about pin chests is whatever, unless they change it by the time you watch this video, whatever is the last tournament, or I'm sorry, tour you played, is the level of chest you'll get. So if I was playing Tour 1 right there, I wouldn't have gotten a lot of the things I've gotten, if there's truth to that. That's what I've always heard for a while. So let's continue. Let's go back in and play again. And as soon as I max out this, I'll make a Tour 7 video. And I'm going to be bringing a 4th account out as well. So we could make Tour 3, Tour 4, probably Tour 4 and 5 would be a little better. What I would recommend is play with your friends on the Tours 1 through 4 to get better. And you guys can just kind of like pass the money back and forth between you so you don't go broke practicing. But when it comes to Tour 5 and up, you can't play those with friends. So that's when I would definitely refer to videos. This guy's using a special premium ball that you can only pay cash for. And he's overpowering it quite a bit. I hope he's able to hit near perfect. We are not going to be able to take the same way that he did. Ooh. Now when you lose a ball, you see how it went out of bounds? If he uses that same ball, it's going to use another one. So he's going to be down 2 balls. So hopefully he knows to change that. I am going to take the way I normally take. And we're going to set up right about here. Now as you can see, this does not give us room to miss to hit a grade on the left hand side. I'm going to overadjust just a tad. I got the full top spin on, the full left spin, plus I'm using full left curl for this club. And I hit it great. I'm not happy about that, but I did hit it great on the right side. So we do have an opportunity here. Hopefully it rolls back onto the fairway, which it does. We would be further up had that not happened. However, we're in much better shape than our opponent, who's going right back by the tee. But you definitely want to jump over to this island. So yeah, he's not changing his ball back. So he spent cash on this ball, and this, he might not know, but he's actually using a second ball here. Since the other one went out of bounds, you just automatically lose it.
Great shot.
And he ends up in the rough again, so he won't lose this ball, but he won't be able to use his regular club. So hopefully he has a really good iron. Now we do have, we're coming up short here, you see, but we do have a 6-mile-an-hour wind at our backs, so that's definitely going to help us. I normally don't recommend overpowering unless we absolutely have to, but there's no place for us to safely go. So I'd rather chip it in with my my rough iron if I have to. I'm going to overpower it a little. We hit it great on the right, which is okay. We did clear. I wanted to put some curl on that, but I wasn't certain, and I didn't have enough time to check again. But a little bit of left curl might have helped us out a little, might not have. And we just let our opponent right back in the game. Had we stayed on the fairway, we'd have an easy putt. But because we did go into the sand there, because I was just worried about getting over the cliff, we would have an easy win. Now he's going to have a slight advantage, I believe. A pretty big advantage, actually, in the shootout.
Great shot.
Simply because he'll have all that side spin. He's using either a 3 or a 2 side spin ball. The power's not really going to matter. But he didn't get up as close as I thought he would. See, we're in the sand. But look, we're super close to where we can possibly chip this in. And if we don't chip this in, we have a putt as to where he has to hit the ball a pretty long ways. So let's hope for perfect here. And we hit it great. And that, unfortunately, is a side effect of messing up and ending up in the bunker. Had we been shooting from where he's shooting, we would use a regular wedge, which has a slower needle spin. So if you're in the sand or the rough, you're going to have a faster needle spin. So I like doing these live because I'm not perfect. I don't want to show you perfect golf all the way through. You know, everyone makes a mistake. And, you know, that was my mistake there. But we're persevering. We're going to continue trying. Notice our opponent went out of bounds. And now he actually has a really good opportunity to take me to a shootout. So it's a good thing he didn't just forfeit the match and give up the money. Hopefully this goes in for him. Kingfisher is not a good club, but sometimes you just don't have a choice based on what you get. Yeah, we're going to have a real simple putt here, and we'll be able to take this game. So he burned 2 premium balls, and all we used was this little marlin. And that is how you play this hole on Tour 6 with lower clubs, or if I say lower, what I mean is clubs that belong on Tour 6. Not so much people who like to, see if they want to play again. No, not so much people who like to come down and, you know, with their maxed out clubs and try to pick on people. Let's go back in again for at least one more. We are on a winning streak here. So, you know, don't let mistakes, you know, scare you into forfeiting or giving up mentally. He hit his ball out of bounds and still had the opportunity to take me to a shootout. Okay, so I really, really like using a different ball and club here. Because, I'm not going to, but because we need to wrap around to the right. As a matter of fact, this is a good one for a big dog, I believe, if I'm guessing right. But the first things first, we need to get this ball up this path. So full top spin, full right curl. and we hit it great to the right, so there's no way we're not going to make it. Oh, wow. I did not expect that whatsoever. That was total luck, the way the rough contoured away, and that's where we happened to land. Normally you end up in the rough there and there's not much you can do. This is one of those holes where I highly recommend a Quasar instead of the Marlin, because it'll give you the ability to put more side spin on and not have to play so close to the rough. See how much of that yellow is on the rough? That's because these low level extra miles don't have much accuracy and they don't have much curl. The only thing we have going for us is the fact that the wind is blowing away from the rough. If the wind would have been blowing in the opposite direction, I definitely would have been sitting in the rough. And he hits it great as well, but he hit it great on the left side. So I knew he would clear that, but I kind of figured he'd end up in the rough over there. So very important to get this drive right, because as we see on the second shot, now our second shot is very easy. We got this little landing pad here, so I would go with full backspin. And we don't have a very good ball guide, but we can tell we're not going to end up in the sand. So I'm just going to move it back here, let the wind blow us up just a little bit, and get as close to the pin as possible. If we did our adjustments correctly, and we end up on the green, our opponent can't even get anywhere near, so he's going to have a long chip shot, and we're going to have a very short chip shot. So see, he's just aiming for the fairway right there, and he'll still have an equally long shot to the hole. We're going to have a tiny little chip-in shot that should be very easy. Now, I hope he doesn't overpower this. There's no reason to overpower, and he hit it good because he overpowered it. And he ends up going right back into the rough again, making it that much harder to get it to the pin. As to where us, on the other hand, we have a nice easy shot. All we got to do is line it up. I like going with full topspin, although that's not much with this club. Line it up to the pin. Now, because the ball's not going to be in the air very long, the wind is not going to affect it, and even a ball hit great is still going to go in the hole. And this has been a tutorial on how to effectively win Tour 6. Now, I wasn't able to cover every single course. Hopefully Dan hits this and I can show you guys a shootout. But this won't cover every course. However, it'll show you with your low-level clubs, you definitely have what it takes to compete here. And, you know, maybe you could use a couple tips of mine through this video to see that, you know, it's not all that intimidating. Keep on climbing up. Just remember your bankroll. You should have 10 times the amount that it costs to play the tour if you're playing that tour with no experience, because it sucks to lose all that money and go back down into, say, Tour 2 and try to earn your money back again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be putting out more tutorials like this. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell right next to it to get notifications. I also live stream. And with the live streams, you get to talk to me one-on-one. Normally we have anywhere from 80 to 120 people in the room. So if you say hi and I don't see it, please don't give up. I definitely want to see you and talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick video on Tour 6. I hope this gives you the confidence you need. Have a wonderful day.